Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Sunderland career mode on FIFA 19. We are into the January transfer window, which means it's time to make an addition to the team. That addition might be Sean Maguire, it might be someone else. I've added a number of names to the shortlist. They are currently being scouted. Daniel James was someone we were interested in previously. He's now moved to Beijing, so we won't be able to sign him in this window. I have added Joe Aribo to the list. Well, he might have just gone there as well. He has, because I'm pretty sure he used to play for Charlton, so he unfortunately isn't available. Drew Yearwood is here as well. Actually, the response with Sean Maguire was to potentially loan him and short-term loan him and buy him next year. If Preston are open to that, I would do that. I would do that. So we'll wait and see if we can maybe loan Sean Maguire. Added Josh Maja to the shortlist as well, formerly of Sunderland, and a number of you wanted me to bring him back. And Kiefer Moore was mentioned as well, 6'5". Not sure about what his stats look like. We'll wait for the scout report. The only thing is, obviously, he's currently playing for Barnsley, who are a promotion rival. I'm not entirely too sure Barnsley would sell him to me if this were a realistic save, which is most of the time what we aim for. Jack Clark is on the list as well. He apparently can play at striker according to you guys, so we'll wait and see what his stats look like. And then with regards to goalkeeper, Marcus Bettinelli is someone there that I've added to scout and see if he's any good. Obviously, we've been questioning McLaughlin recently, and also backup goalkeeper Casada. He isn't amazing, and he also wants to leave, so we'll wait and see what we can do financially. But to start off with, Sean Maguire is going to be the main target. We'll start with this simulated game against Blackpool. It's a busy month, actually, January. We've Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup coming up at the end of this week, so we shall play that as the first game of the episode. Of course, we play 3 games every month, unless we're in a transfer window, in which case we play 2 games for the month and have the transfer action fill out the episode. So this will be one of those. We'll start with this game. We'll play Sheffield Wednesday, and there's another played game at the end of the month. It's against Charlton, I think. We played Charlton at home on the first day of the season and lost. So I'd quite like to get payback for that if we can. It might be a decent marker as to how much we've improved or how much we've fallen behind our rivals. Casada still unsettled, and the board is saying that, alright, maybe you should genuinely just look to sell him on now. So maybe that's something that I should look to do. We signed him as a free agent. He hasn't had a lot of first team football, but I can't sell him because he came in this year. So literally out of my control, I'm afraid. There are a couple of suggestions for other sales, including Ozturk, but again, he's fresh in this season. Can't sell him. Louvens, he's fresh in this season. Can't sell him. There was Magaush. Where was he? He's fresh in this season. Can't sell him. There was Chris Maguire. He's fresh in this season. Can't sell him. So we will be able to sell them next year, but at present we're limited with the amount of players that we're actually able to move on to raise funds. So it is going to be Ada McGeady that we look to move on to raise funds for more deals in this window. I shall try and approach to loan, and the club aren't willing to let me loan him, and his valuation has gone up since we last looked at him. So we are certainly going to need to sell McGeady, or if they'd be interested in him, maybe use McGeady as part of the deal. It might mean we end up paying a little bit more. Let's try a player swap. Wingers, Ada McGeady's valued at 2.7. Are they open to Ada McGeady? They're not interested in McGeady. Can I offer... Also, I can offer one of the players that I can't sell in this deal. That's good news. Let's try Magaush because he's valued highest, maybe. Grant Ledbetter because he's older. Ledbetter came to Sunderland to end his career though, so I'd feel in real life, so I'd feel harsh selling him. Let's try Ozturk or Louvens. Try Ozturk because he hasn't played for me once yet. Okay, they're not interested in him. Who else could I offer? How about Louvens? I know he's absolutely dead, but would you be interested in him? No. Let's try other position. Midfielders. I mean, Magaush has barely played for me, so we'll see if they're interested. I don't think I played him once. They would be interested in Magaush, but I certainly can't afford that transfer fee. How about 2.2 million? That would leave me enough to be able to afford Maguire's wages. If they could just be slightly more open to negotiation, then we might be onto something. If they appear not to be open to much negotiation, we will still be able to afford Maguire if we're able to sell McGeady on, which of course is the plan. That's about okay. They can agree that. What's he on a week at the minute? 9,006. I should be able to offer him about that, if not maybe a little bit more, because of the outgoing wages from McGoush. Although whether that's going to factor this in, I'm not sure. I want a 2-year contract. I'll try for 4, but yeah, we're going to have to settle for 3. That's fine. By the end of the 3 years, or in 2 seasons' time, when he's got a year left, we might be looking to move him on anyway. No release clause is fine. I'll give you an idea of what you want wage-wise, please. Okay, well, I mean, it's literally going to take up all of my money to offer him £9,000 a week. All right, done. We have a new striker, and we haven't had to sell McGeady to do it. We shall put Lowe out on the left-hand side. Morgan can drop to the bench ahead of McGeady. Or actually, I might be quite keen to keep McGeady on the bench for the time being. And Maguire can go up top. Let's do that. We don't have an out-and-out striker on the bench, but we can move Lowe to striker should we need to. So, Sean Maguire is in. We have our new striker and the main man that I wanted to sign alongside Will Grigg. Now, hopefully, he'll be able to make the difference, and it would be one hell of a debut if he's able to make the difference against Sheffield Wednesday, a side in the league above us, and get us through to the next round of the FA Cup. That would be absolutely brilliant. Let's see if we can now go and do that. And a transfer offer for Aidan McGeady. I mean, we are obviously at some point going to have to sell him, and he's only going to decrease in value. So it would make sense to still try and sell him in this window, and maybe we could consider signing someone else throughout the course of this window. We'll propose a new transfer fee of £3.4 million and 2.6. If they'll come up to 3, I'll sell him. I'll be quite happy to sell him for 3. To be fair, 2.8, just anything above valuation. 3 million, right, looks like Aidan McGeady's going to go as well. Well, that's gone pretty much according to plan so far. Let's see if we can go according to plan on the field of play now as well.
So Alan, 4-4-2.
Gooch. I said to Honeyman, back to Catamol, around the corner looking for Maguire, but it falls to Lowe. Work it around really well. Not the best of passes from Grigg, but Maguire does well to get to that. Good acceleration, good balance. Here he is again, late into a teammate. George Honeyman hasn't been too impressive so far this season in the cam role, in the other formations we were trying, but as an out-and-out centre mid, he perhaps is in a better position. We'll lead by a goal to 0 inside 7 minutes. Honeyman, as a cam, was always further up the field and wasn't that effective. Maybe, just like that example, sat a bit deeper at centre mid, he would get forward to kind of the edge of the box rather than in the box and make the late runs like that to actually be more effective in game. That might be a sign of things to come for George Honeyman. We might well, by changing formation and bringing in Sean Maguire and dropping him from that cam role and playing him deeper, we may well have saved George Honeyman's Sunderland career. Certainly a positive sign for the way things to start, and I think actually it may even have been Maguire that got the assist there for George Honeyman as well. I'll quickly check actually just to confirm. Let's see. It was. What a debut so far in the opening 10 minutes for Sean Maguire. Matthews to Gooch. Nicely done. Adam Matthews on the run. Good drop of the shoulder actually, and Grigg can turn here and finally Catamol. He'll look for Sean Maguire. Takes it in his stride well. Finds Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe for 2. All through the keeper's legs. Lowe's default celebration is particularly odd. That's the second assist for Sean Maguire in the opening half an hour of his time as a Sunderland player. It might be the formation. It might be both the formation and the new signing. But we might well have turned a corner here at Sunderland for this season. Whether this side would be competent enough to compete at championship level for a full season, I'm not sure. But having played, having this be the third Championship side that we've played this year, after drawing with Brentford after 90 minutes, to be fair, we only beat them on penalties, and narrowly losing to Aston Villa, we might be able, with the current squad we have, to at least compete at Championship level if we can get ourselves promoted this season. Financially, I don't think we're going to be able to improve as much for the season in the Championship if we are to get promoted at this stage, because the squad is still needing a lot of work and people won't have grown quite enough to be able to have the impact at the Championship level. But I'm delighted with the way things are looking in the opening half an hour here against Sheffield Wednesday. Not sure what sort of season they're having in the Championship, but they're certainly having a bad day right here. Corner for Wednesday. Barry Bannon takes it short to Forestieri. Early delivery. Flanagan away. Grigg will look to lift this, but it didn't quite work. So we'll get it short there to Honeyman. Trying to work it through the gap that thankfully still fell in my favour. But now George Boyd has won it back for Wednesday, and he's got options in front of him. Taking his time. Lees out to Dominic Iorfa. In there to Mahi. Boyd to Iorfa. It's nicely done. And Mahi into the middle. Forestieri underneath it, but can't win the header. Boyd knocks it down to Joao though, and he'll stand it up. And again, they can't win the header, but they'll get a corner here again Wednesday. If they can get it in better this time than last time, then maybe they might find themselves with a chance on goal. It's looped. Joao should win this because he's massive. It's actually Dominic Iorfa, and that was headed away by the defender. Keeper at full stretch. I think that was headed into the very top corner. Beautiful header by the former Wolves right back. Unfortunately for him though, so far our defence remains unbeaten. Forestieri, crosshead to Joao. Oh, it's a lovely ball through to Mai, and they're in a decent position here. It's a good ball in too, but Jimmy Dunn gets rid of that. Grigg brings that down, and Maguire will look to break. Get it across to Will Grigg again. Nice turn. It's done really well there, Will. And we'll look for Sean Maguire. Is it to be 2 goals and an assist for Sean Maguire on debut? No, not yet at least. Good save by Kieran Westwood. Deliver the ball into the middle here with Jamal Lowe. It's decent. Grigg could be underneath it. Flanagan is, but that one much more simple for the goalkeeper to deal with. We'll stay at just 2-0 for now. Side to Barry Bannon. Through ball opportunity was on there. Tried to just deny him the opportunity to get it through the gap. Fall to Grigg here. Needs to get to that first, and Iorfa's done brilliantly. He's having a good game at right back. Iorfa. It's just a shame that none of his teammates really are also stepping up to the plate. Into Lazar. Dinked in. Well, he had to score that. He couldn't not. He was never going to not win that header. Sunderland 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. They are back in the game. Lucas Joao with his first goal of the FA Cup campaign. Making a couple of changes. In fact, we're making 3 changes. Watmore, Ratiu and Ledbetter all coming on in the midfield to try and hold on to this lead now. Bannon to Lee. Forestieri to Joao. Intercepted by Matthews, but he gets there. Oh God, no, not like this. Thumping finish from Mahi. Lost the ball there, so but that first time hit. Wow. Should have made the pass, but I mean that's a stunning finish. Should the keeper do better? I don't know. Shot power's very high. Our 2-0 lead gone. Cross comes in. Don't tell me they're going to win it. Oviedo heads behind. Last chance of the game, probably. Kieran Lee to deliver the corner. Stephen Fletcher is on for Lucas Joao. It's a decent ball in. It's headed away by Jimmy Dunn. Maguire will get to that first, but that's going to be game, isn't it? It's going to be a replay here against Sheffield Wednesday. What looked like it was going to be a pretty straightforward win. It might not yet. It might. Sheffield Wednesday turn a 2-0 half-time deficit into a 3-2 win with the last kick of the game. Maybe we aren't ready for the Championship. Wow. I mean, talk about late cup drama. The FA Cup always offers something. Fernando Forestieri. Is it Fernando Forestieri? I literally just read that and then didn't actually take in the name. Regardless, it's Forestieri that wins the game for them. Unreal. Yeah, Fernando Forestieri. Wow. Yeah, they're only 3 shots on target, and they scored all 3 goals. Oh, well, that's not gone well, has it? Lincoln City holding Aston Villa to a draw. Oh, never mind, it's gone. I was going to say any shocks, but it's not there. Transfer offer from McGeady from Al Nassr for 2.5 million. We negotiated 3 with Basel. We'll try and negotiate with Al Nassr as well. They might have a little bit of money to spend, so we'll try 3.4 again. Again, I'll settle for... Well, I'll probably settle for 2.9, but if we can get 3.2, then superb. 3 million was what we negotiated elsewhere. 3.2 is what we will negotiate with Al Nassr. Still looks like McGeady's going out, but where he's destined to go, I'm not sure. We have a game in hand on those around us. So I'm pretty sure I read that right. So a win in this next game that we'll simulate could be pretty decent with regards to catching us up with the top. And indeed it could be. We could go level with Barnsley and just a point behind Luton if we're able to win this next game against Accrington Stanley. We've got Luton coming up as well, who are top of the table. Perhaps that's one I should play. Oh, is it home or away though against Luton? It's away against Accrington Stanley. It's home against Luton. I should probably sim the home game and play the away game still. What's this email? Prize money, 153 grand. Well, that'll go into the kitty for next year. But we are going to need a lot of money, or as much money as possible for next year, because a number of players are on loan this year. So we'll be losing a couple of players that we've got in the squad. So numbers will be down. Not necessarily the quality, because the majority of our starting lineup are permanent players, although I believe Jimmy Dunn is on loan. So we will have to replace 1 or 2 first team squad players, but the rest are outside of the first team squad, or at least we haven't been regularly using them this year. But I'm so gutted about losing in the last minute Sheffield Wednesday. There's a draw there against Accrington Stanley. McGeady is going to Basel for 3 million. An offer for Duncan Watmore, which will be rejected. He's going to stay, thank you. Reece James wants to talk about his role at the club. We could give you a game for this next one, Reece, if you would like. We're still 4th. A win against Luton could put us above them. Scout report. Jack Clark. 1.4 million valuation, 67 rated. I don't know how he grows. Let's have a quick look on Sophie for Jack Clark. Starts at 65, so he's already up to 67 in this first season, and does grow to 82. So Jack Clark could be a potential signing as a McGeady replacement, and or for other players that will be leaving us on loan, or leaving us from their loan spells at the end of the year. I was going to put Reece James in, wasn't I, at left back for Oviedo. Let's do that now. There you go, sir. To be fair, I might make that move permanent. Oviedo is a player I could consider selling, to be fair. But we'll leave it as is for now. Jack Clark could be good. We'll wait for the rest of the scout reports to come in, because Catamel's aging out now. Ledbetter is pretty much already aged out. His stats are starting to decline. He's gone down a rating or 2 as well. So we certainly could look for a central midfielder, and I've got Drew Yearwood on there and a couple of other centre mids, I believe. Maguire's with his first 2 goals now for the club. Can he finish and end with a hat-trick? It was a great debut for him with 2 assists. Unfortunately, it was still a defeat. 4-0 against Luton. That's why you sim the home games. The side that were top of the table, which has got absolutely smacked. Barnsley now top of the table, and we are joint level with Luton. Kiefer Moore was another player, and Joe Aribo as well, although he just moved, hadn't he? I'll go and have a look at some of those scout reports then, and I shall report back to you once I've read what the scouts have reported back to me. Still waiting a report for Josh Madger. He doesn't look too incredible, but we might consider bringing him back to the club perhaps next year now at this stage. Kiefer Moore I'm going to say no to. I don't think Barnsley would sell him to me, and I don't think really 48 agility and 50 balance as a striker is going to do me much good. I don't think it's going to suit my style of play. Pettinelli was still waiting for a scout report on, although we do know how much he costs now. I think it's going to be out my price range for this season at least. Aribo obviously has just moved, so we can't sign him anyway, but we got the scout report back, and for those that were interested, they are his stats, so I'll remove him. Drew Yearwood I'd be open to. 3-star, 3-star. He's 18 years of age, 66 rated, so plenty of room for growth. But his physical stats look decent already, so if we trained his technicals, he could become very good for us. Got potential to get to 80, so certainly could be a player that would stay with us or could stay with us up until the Premier League. So I certainly would be open to Yearwood coming in. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try and get this deal done in this window. Might as well spend some of the McGeady money now. £2.3 million in my budget, so certainly Bettinelli is out of my price range. They reckoned I could have got him. I can get him for between 1.1 and 1.5, I think it said, and there you go. I'm quite happy to pay that. Drew Yearwood, as an 18-year-old player, could be coming in. He's on about 1.4k a week, I think it said there on the previous menu. He only wants a rotation role as well, so that's good. Obviously, he's not going to be immediately into the starting 11, but we could be able to train him quite sharpish and get him into a starting 11 position before the end of the season, perhaps. Adamant that they want 2 years. We'll try and get them to sign 3, which they will, thank you. No release clause. Wage-wise, I mean, I'll offer him 2.5. It's an just over, almost 2.5. I just didn't press up on the left stick as many times as I intended to there. That's that deal done. I'm happy with that. Could I afford Jack? I could maybe afford Jack Clark as well. Let's do it. Let's get Jack Clark in too if we can. Oh, it's going to be tough though. I could maybe try and use a player as part of the deal. Someone that I'm not looking to use, like Chris Maguire perhaps. I'm not interested in Chris Maguire. I could offer another position. Fullback. Brian Oviedo, someone that I said I'd be willing to let go. And they're interested in Oviedo, and I can afford the transfer fee, but whether I'd be able to afford his wages as well is a different... Whoops, not 9 there. Would be a different matter. So I'm going to offer 930 odd. They'll accept that. And then... What's he on? It was like 5 something, wasn't it? 5.9. He's on almost £6 a week at least. But he's coming down a division, Jack Clark. So he might be open to taking a wage cut. He wants an important squad role. I could give him that, certainly. We'll try for 4 years. Again, they'll say they want 2, so we'll give them 3. So you could just predict what the AI are going to want every single time. No release clause is fine. Give me an idea of what you want wage-wise so I don't overspend, please. Right, brilliant. I'll offer him 4.5. So he might be willing to take a wage cut to come down to this level. And indeed he is. So that, as far as I'm concerned, is a successful transfer window. A very successful transfer window. Great job with the youth programme by signing Jack Clark. We've met another criteria. So Aidan McGeady's gone. But Lewis Morgan is only on loan. So we're going to need to replace him. We have now done that. Drew Yearwood has come in. And we'll be able to help fill the role left by Catamol. We still have Ratiu to train as well. And Max Power too. So I think we're set for centre mid for the foreseeable future now. I'm just going to put Max Power in there ahead of Grant Ledbetter, who's only going to continue to decline in rating. Put Charlie Wake there. I might as well leave Casado on the bench. Why not? I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a very decent transfer window for us. I'm very pleased with that. We'll wait and see what we can do now then for the rest of the month with regards results on the field of play. We might be able to get ourselves into those promotion spots. Transfer for George Honeyman, which we shall reject. Certainly hoping that he can have more of an impact in that deeper role as we mentioned against Wednesday. Right, let's go and get this Scunthorpe game out of the way and then we can go and play Charlton. A monthly scouting update. We do need another goalkeeper still. So if there's a goalie in here that I can train, that would be brilliant. Or transfer scout report even on Bettinelli. I'd be open to him next season, but I certainly can't afford him now. Even if I hadn't made the other 2 signings, I still couldn't have afforded him. Josh Madger, I just don't think he's going to be good enough. I don't think he's going to be good enough, I'm afraid. Prize money for the FA Cup's reconfirmed almost. 70 to 94, you could be okay. 62 to 86, we'll say no. That's a no. That's a no. And that is a maybe. Maybe. We'll call him up and see what happens. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should call my scout back and start looking purely for goalkeepers between now and the end of the season, just so we know. Although, to be fair, if we get promotion, we're not going to need... Well, it might be nice to have an improvement anyway, but we're not going to need another goalkeeper for the scenario where we lose a player on international duty, etc. If we could get back into this game, that'd be great, lads, if you don't mind. Maybe. With 20 minutes to go. With 10 minutes to go. Don't lose to Scunthorpe. Alright, we'll lose to Scunthorpe. Simulated games. Simulated games are the bane of my life. But it makes the series more entertaining and more engaging with the fact that it lasts 10 to 12 episodes rather than 30 episodes. So we shall continue on with the format. I do need to add new training regimes in for our new players as well. I shall do that at the end of the month. But right now, we're going to go and play promotion chasing and 3 point behind us side, Charlton Athletic away from home. That's Kelly. To Reeves, but Casimov steps in. Jamal couldn't get there. And Kelly finds force to Kasky. And Lyle Taylor could cause us some problems. And that's flashed wide. McLaughlin at full stretch. He wasn't sure where that was ending up. Good angle for it. Was it ever on target? Perhaps not, but always drifting away regardless, even if it started off just sneaking inside the post. Matthews will get this down the line, and Gooch will get it under control. Grigg into Lee Catamont. I'll try and play Maguire through first time. It's a lovely ball. He's right-footed, so I want to try and get back on that right-hand side. And that's annoying. Low with the throw. James. Forward there to Maguire. Into Honeyman. Space there for Gooch. On the overlapping run is Adam Matthews as ever. We'll talk about having a number of players with you. Oh, what a delivery. Oh, Solly gets there. We'll knock it inside quickly. Right. I meant that to go, but Grigg could have found Maguire, who could have found Lowe, who was in space as a man over on the far side. While Taylor into Forster-Kasky, and here comes Charlton on the counter-attack. Taylor to Cullen. It was Forster-Kasky that scored the goal, wasn't it, in our 1-0 defeat against Charlton at the beginning of the season. Solly back there to Cullen. And I thought I'd run it back, but then he locked off the ball there, Reece James. Catamol out of position. Vetekele could deliver the ball into the middle, but we forced him back. Oh, I thought we'd forced him backwards. Well, Lyle Taylor could have won that, but Adam Matthews does brilliantly, as does Sean Maguire. But Darren Pratley outmuscles him. Reeves, Kasky, Reeves, Kasky. Saved by McLaughlin. This is an entertaining game. Two playoff chasing sides, or even automatic promotion sides. Oh, Baldwin just wins their header. Jack Baldwin back into the starting lineup for this game, as the centre-back was running slightly low on stamina. Cullen, now he shoots wide as well. Charlton having a lot of chances. Spins well, finds Reeves. Bumped off it. Here's Pratley. Oh, he's missed that there in the middle there, Cullen. We catch him on the counter maybe? Honeyman will go across the right back first. Gooch have asked to make the run, and he has obliged. Get that in there to Grigg. Maguire is there. Oh, but Grigg loses it. Catamol will recycle possession. Jamal Lowe will find Maguire, and he's in the box here. Maguire deflected off Pearce. I think it was headed for the bottom corner. Haven't yet really actually had a shot properly with Maguire. They've all been assists. But he's playing really well in simulated games as well as these played ones. Finds Catamol there with a decent pass. Grigg to Jamal Lowe. Try a bit of footwork to work the space. Could work. Catamol, trying to find space of his own. Oh, just won't work in this first half. It's going to be 0-0 at the break. We'll see if we can get ourselves ahead in the second half. Edinson Cavani confirmed is going to Real Madrid. By the time we end up playing teams of the level of Real Madrid, I think Edinson Cavani will probably have retired. So it's not a signing that's going to concern us at Sunderland, but certainly a big one for the save. Maguire will get this out wide here to Reece James, and Jamal Lowe will make that run as I've asked him to. Here's the turn inside. Here's Maguire. There's Grigg. Just keep hold of it. Well done. And Gooch! Oh, straight at Chris Maxwell. Tried to place it in the far corner, but cut across it, and it ended up just bending more and more towards the goalkeeper. Catamol, he's trying his hardest here, Lee Catamol, and he's done brilliantly. And here's Sean Maguire in the box on his left foot. Chris Maxwell with the save. He's right-footed, Maguire, but it was a decent effort with his left on that occasion. Good ball in. Near post header, maybe. Headed away by Bauer. Honeyman. Get it in there. Oh, it's Jack Baldwin. Why does it have to be a centre-back? Catamol arriving here is Reece James. He almost forgot the ball there. It's odd. Strange technique, but maybe it was to try and fool the defender. I'm not sure. Honeyman in here to Maguire. Good footwork. On his right foot this time, well blocked. Get that to Jamal Lowe. On his right foot was on target, but it was tame. Fosu, Solly down the line. Reece James will try and close him down, but can't. We need to get rid of this. Matthews only as far as Fetikele, but that's tame. Easy enough for McLaughlin to deal with. This has been just as difficult a game as the first one of the season. So far, at least on this occasion, we've been able to keep a clean sheet. Signs, we've been much more competitive in the game as a whole too. Signs that we are improving as a team and as a squad, but we're certainly not there yet. But I am optimistic about the way that this season will end, especially with our new signings now. Try and steal this away from them and make them pay for a mistake, but it's not going to happen. I've got Jack Clark waiting to come on, similarly with Ratu. So hopefully the ball will go out of play sooner rather than later, and they'll actually have some opportunity to make an impact. I might just foul someone to try and force the issue. The ball around here to Solly, and they might be going back to the centre circle from a goal. Wozniacki to Taylor, good save by McLaughlin. It will be for the corner. That was close. Corner to come in for Charlton. Max Power on for Lee Catamol. It was Max Power went with, not Ratu. Away by Grigg. Jack Clark, as we mentioned, on for Lyndon Gooch on the right-hand side. We'll try and close down here with Jack Clark. Use those fresh legs to hound them. We've been able to force them backwards there to Solly. Is there any need in the midfield? Fosu around the corner. Solly, early ball in. Ball to win away. It'll drop to Maguire. It's a great touch. Turns well. Finds Grigg. Honeyman. Oh, George, no. Not quick enough with his footwork. Max Power going to try and close down here. It's well worked. Fosu. Oh, no, McLaughlin. A last-minute goal for Sheffield Wednesday. A last-minute goal for Charlton Athletic. I thought the keeper had that. I genuinely thought the keeper had that dealt with. I thought he had it covered. It bent away from him from the moment it left his foot. Should he have gotten to that? Oh, weird technique from the keeper. I mean, what can I say? It's the last kick of the game. It was the last kick of the game against Sheffield Wednesday, and it's the last kick of the game against Charlton. It's a great finish, but should the keeper do better? Potentially. We are making forward strides though as a side, which is good news. Oh, that might put Charlton above us on goal difference. Not sure. Indeed it does. Goal difference is plus 8 for us and plus 11 for them. Still a long way to go though. Still a long way to go. 17 games. We'll make it 16 after this one against Gillingham. Oh, dearie me. I can't believe the way that today's episode has gone on the field. Off the field, superb. Off the field, 2 90-plus minute goals to give us defeat in both games. Devastating. Gillingham equalised through Riley, and then Lowe gives us a 2-1 lead. We can at least get a win in this final game of the month, and that would be a silver lining. And there's Lee Catamol's goal to give us a 3-1 lead. That will do. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Okay, are we maybe back above Charlton again? Have they dropped points? They haven't played. They haven't played. We're 3 points though off Luton. 3 points off Luton. And still very much alive in the automatic promotion race. Let's go and end the transfer window. And then we can end the episode. Trippier linked with a move to Atletico Madrid, as you can see there on the right-hand side. Biggest moves in this window so far. Thiago Alcantara to Paris Saint-Germain for 70.5. Edinson Cavani to Real Madrid for 50.5. Rodrigo has gone to Roma. And Danny Parejo has moved to Juventus for £49.6 million. I think that was Yusuf Poulsen, wasn't it? Going to Wolves. Indeed it was. Great signing for them. We'll keep our eye on this transfer window. That was a big jump. Was it a massive deal? No, doesn't appear to be. Another big jump. It just seems a number of smaller deals are going through, or mid-level deals. DeAndre Yedlin to Liverpool for £10.4 million. What does that mean for Trent Alexander-Arnold's future? We're not sure. £364 million spent so far in this window. Fazer going from Benfica to Borussia Mönchengladbach. £426 million now spent on transfer deadline day. There's a lot happening here in January. Not a massive amount, but certainly it's an active transfer window. Transfer for Linda Gooch, £3.7 million. Going to be rejecting that. He's certainly been one of our better performers this year and will continue to be my starting right-sided midfielder, although now he is having some competition with Jack Clark coming in and will certainly be looking to grow him. Any other big deals? Mats Hummels for £54 million to Manchester City. It's going to be upwards of £650 million spent in this window. Big window. In the end, £670 million spent in the month of Jan. Well, no, that's just on transfer deadline day, wasn't it? Let alone the month of January. Deadline day's ended. Next transfer window, Casado wants to go. I physically couldn't sell him this month. Lance Cook, 71 to 93, 6'2", another wing back that would be better suited to centre back. George Harrison, 84 to 94 potential for him. 72 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, low agility and balance, which sucks. But 81 jumping and 75 strength are decent actually. He could be one that even if we can't use, we can sell on for profit later. Bennett, 73 to 79 now, but we're still going to continue to train him and we can manually get him up higher than that. Lance Turner, still unsure. Reece Moore, still unsure. But I'm going to go and alter some, or add in some extra training modules now. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this series. And I'll see you later this afternoon for a stream.